you don't have to have an educated eye to look at the remaining unrestricted free agents. And there'll be some bargain shopping that happens in the days ahead and throughout the summer, but not for the pieces that certain teams need. You're right. I mean, I think Toronto was hopeful, but they weren't expecting that they'd get a crack at Brad Marchand. I don't think that Brock Besser was a good fit in Toronto, but they still had to nibble there to see. I'm sure that Brad Treliving has thrown his hat in the ring on Nikolai Ehlers. I don't think that Nikolai Ehlers wants to play in Toronto. I think he wants to literally stay out of the spotlight. He found it bright at times in Winnipeg, so Toronto is a completely different beast. So how do you acquire that top six forward that Toronto is in the market for? And it's going to have to be by trade. And I'd love to be able to sit here, guys, and tell you, okay, they're targeting this player or that player. Can't do it. And that could also be because teams don't know yet who is entirely available. And then you shift over to the Oilers, and you're right. But what's obvious with the work that Stan Bowman has done is that they're opening themselves up for all possibilities. And maybe there is some free agent work that can still be done for Bowman. Mangiapane, I think, was on their radar. I was driving, so correct me. I don't think he's signed anywhere.
No.
Beyond that, then I think you don't have a choice. You've got to look at what is available to you in trade. Brian Rust's name has been attached to the Edmonton Oilers, mostly in media speculation. So at least Stan Bowman has some wiggle room. But now the pressure's on Bowman too, isn't it? You look at what Bill Zito and the Florida Panthers did in basically bringing their lineup back. Sure, they lost some pieces, but the significant core of the Panthers is there, and the Florida Panthers were way better than the Oilers in Game 5 and in Game 6. That's just the reality of the situation. Throw Zach Hyman into the equation, maybe it's a little bit different. So again, unless there's just this magic top six forward that pops loose into the market that we're unaware of, Edmonton's got a bit of a problem here. For me, they do. And then look, they've got Bouchard signed. The Draisaitl money is on the book. So they prepared for that by clearing out some of this money. But that doesn't make them better. It just makes them compliant. And then they're looking over their shoulder again, and there's the Florida Panthers. So I can only imagine what Connor McDavid and company are thinking at this point, but that can change.